Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 10 of Vulganos Translations here. Before we get into it, today we're going to be talking about hunting horns, but I want a quick talk about my 3DS. I sent that out like last week, and I said that it was going to be like maybe 2 to 3 weeks, probably no less than a month is actually what I've been told now, which really sucks because I'm definitely itching to play. A lot. There's still tons upon tons that I have to do. But hopefully, as time goes on, some of the people I have been playing with will be able to get up to G rank, and looks like there's some new people that are coming around that I'm gonna be able to game with too, which is really awesome. So it's worth the wait. If those people can get back up there, so they just need to kick it into high gear, especially this weekend, and get up to G rank so we can do some awesome hunting. But let's move on. So this week I want to talk about hunting horn. It was per request from one of my subscribers, which is pretty awesome. I love seeing comments and stuff like that. Love hearing what you guys want to hear from me. So hunting horn, right? It's sort of a unique weapon. It has the ability to. It's really one of the only things that stands out as like a group benefit weapon, right? Like lance, not really a group weapon. If anything, it's an anti-group weapon. Hammer, sort of the same thing. You ground pound people out of the way. You might see that here too, but really, hunting horn is one of those things that's just sort of stands out as really different, really unique. It's got really high raw damage. It's also can do KO damage. It's really high in blunt damage there, and it also has a lot of stamina drain paired with it. The very unique thing about it, there's not really a lot of combos, but it's that you can play these songs. Each attack does a certain song or a certain note. You do certain notes, you make a certain song that do certain status effects that can boost your entire team. Anyone in the area will get those effects, like in the entire area, which is great. You can load up the song and then go into an area and hit it right away. They are timed at about like 2 minutes per song, but you can also extend each one, so you can get skills, you can extend them out, so you can reset the timer depending on what skills or what notes you play. So let's sort of go into the general attacks, and they're really easy, actually. To be honest, hunting horn is actually really easy to learn how to use. X is your main combo. You do different swing attacks, right? That's it. You just do X and it swings. A is a stab. It actually does slash damage. Very, very small amount of slash or slicing or cutting damage, whatever you want to call it. And it's really mainly used as a connector, sort of to speed up an animation. So really, X and A are your main attacks, and then you have X plus A, which is a ground pound. And those are pretty much your main combos in there. There are a few variations, but really that's what you're going to be working with. So every attack you do plays a note, and there are 4 notes that you can play per horn, or 3 notes you can play per horn, right? Anywhere from 3. Or actually anywhere from 2 to 4 notes strung together will play a song. So you can stock up 4 at any given time and play them, and then go into a song whenever you want. And so really, you just use R. Is it R in the thing? R, whatever it is, to play those songs. And so you stock up these notes by different attacks. So you can play songs, which makes it really nice because you can do attacks. You're doing damage. You're helping out the team while you're building up these notes. And then you quickly step away. Just for a split second, really, like, 5 seconds maximum by the time you leave and come back to the monster to play an actual song. And really, at the start of the quest is the best time when you want to go in, load up on notes, go into the area, play a song while everyone team is attacking. You get all the songs out there, right? You get every single song you can, the major ones, and then constantly you're replenishing like the more important ones. So the attack up, your high grade earplugs, whatnot. Because there's so many different songs that can be played. You can get, like I said, earplugs. You can get wind cancel, like complete cancel. You can boost resistances. You can give attack or defense boosts. You can even heal, right? So there's all these different things you can do as a hunting horn user, which makes it a phenomenal group weapon. Like my favorite group weapon of all. If there's a good hunting horn user in the party, it's going to be tough to get me to leave. Because even though they're not always attacking, which, common misconception, hunting horn users should still attack just as much as any other player. Alright, just because you're over in the fucking boondocks playing notes, whatever, doesn't mean you shouldn't be attacking. If you don't understand that those notes are actual attacks, then you're not doing it right? So get attacks in, which builds up notes, step out, play a song, rinse, repeat, right? I played with one guy a while back who would just sit on the side and play notes, and he thought that's all he had to do was just sit, never attack, never nothing, and just play notes and play songs. And I was like, okay, that's great, you gave me attack up, but it's only the two of us, what the fuck else you want me to do? Like, just attack up large isn't going to count for both of us, attacking, right? So you really got to pay attention to how you're playing too. It's as much a group weapon as it is a solo weapon, because that fact that you can actually get those notes from attacks. So when you're doing a solo use, the hunting horn is still really good, because you can go out there, you can do your attacks and do your thing, and then step off to the side and play a song, and then go back and do different attacks and get your certain song, and then go out and play the song and boost yourself. And it's really quite a streamlined process. You lose a little bit of time, but theoretically you gain it back or make up for it with the different bonuses that you can actually get, right? So what do you look for in a good hunting horn? Well, the first thing I think you have to look for is the notes. I mean, if you're looking for a certain fire weapon or something, sure, narrow it down to fire weapons, and then you look at the notes and base it off of the notes. You further search off the notes from there. You really want purple is something that's really good that you're going to want. Reds is really strong. Blue is really strong. Orange is also really good, but it all depends on the combination. I think one of the best combinations out there is purple, orange, yellow, maybe that might be it, or purple, orange, blue, right? So some of those things are phenomenal. If you get a green or a light blue, those tend to be more of the healing, sort of the resistant horns, right? So the reds usually attack, blues usually defense, and they vary a little bit here and there. But you just got to look up the note charts. And, I don't know all those things off the top of my head, and that's the most difficult part about hunting horns, is remembering the notes you need to play, right? So any given hunting horn may have anywhere from like 4 songs, which is not that many, to like 10, which is a ton of different songs to learn how to play, right? And each equipment detail has sort of a list. Like if you look at the hunting horn, you can see a list of what notes to play, but it's sort of hard to do that during the quest. Definitely possible. So you're going to want to keep the major ones in mind. Probably going to, if you're comparing an attack up large to like Blight Negate, well, yeah, Blight Negate's extremely useful. Don't get me wrong, especially depending on the Blight. But I'd rather take the attack up large before the Blight Negate, right? I can always bring items or something to get rid of the Blight. The attack up large, that's a little trickier. Sure, you can bring items and stuff, but it's just, you give to the whole group, it's a little better. Absolutely a little bit better if you would give it to the whole group. Stamina loss large, or stamina loss negate, high-grade earplugs, win, cancel, those things are extremely important. You're going to want to get those out as soon as possible. Some of the other things, like, the defense boost or the resistance boosts, probably going to want to come second. That's at least the mindset of most people, is like, I'd rather have the attack rather than something else, which is fine. You have to think of the other people as they should be capable enough to not get hit so much where they don't need those right away. And if they're not, well, then maybe you're playing with the wrong group, or maybe there's a reason you're using hunting horn, right? So just keep those things in mind, but definitely look for high attack with the hunting horns. You're going to want to pick attack over element for sure, just because of the attack frequency. You're really not getting much out of the element there, especially even with status effects. Like, sure, I always say if you're going to do a status effect, go for the higher status effect. But in hunting horns, it's a little different. If you're going to do the status effect, that's fine, but pick the one with the best notes that gives the best songs. I think there's even like a status attack up or something like that may be offered. I might be completely wrong. I don't remember, but hunting horn's a little different when you're making things. You got to really look at all your options. So it's definitely useful to have those weapon trees when you go online to see what one works out to be the better thing. If you have a weapon that somehow does not get the purple note, it's pretty much not worth making, because the purple, as compared to white, just boosts everything like twofold. Another thing that you should always be doing, probably the first thing you should do is think about yourself when you're using a hunting horn, is play either double white or double purple, which is going to give you a movement boost, and it's extremely needed for hunting horn. That also takes us to some of the skills that you're going to want to use with hunting horn, and one of them that I really love is evade distance, because you're really not terribly mobile with hunting horn, and it's a pretty large weapon, and if you need to get out of there to play a song, you want to get far away. So evade distance is really going to help with that. You're also going to want, most of the time, high-grade earplugs. Yes, you can play it for yourself, with some of the different notes, some of the different songs you can have with any hunting horn, but not all of them have that. In fact, very few of them really have that are good. So you don't want to use that as a crutch, and the high-grade earplugs is going to make it so if the monster roars while all of a sudden you're trying to play off the song, it's going to cancel it and it's going to take even longer, right? So that's one of those things that you're going to want to kind of use just as a benefit for your whole team and even yourself. Stamina drain and attack up both work together extremely well, right? I mean, attack up large you get with a hunting horn. They already deal massive damage. You can do more, and you can boost yourself again on top of that. You're just asking for it right there. Like, seriously, that is a lot of attack. The stamina drain is really nice because most of your attacks take away stamina as it is. So boosting that effect from each of your attacks is going to be extremely helpful. And then finally, I mean, there's really not a lot of skills that are exclusive to it that you really need for hunting horn. Horn Maestro is going to be really useful. It extends all the songs that you play, which is really nice, and it's good for beginner users like myself with hunting horn. I haven't really played around with it a whole lot, but it's really good for beginner users because it extends all the songs. But if you're more experienced, you might not need that 5-socket skill, just because you can always extend the songs. You're always conscious of what songs are about to wear out or something like that too. So you're constantly going back, replaying those things and going back and forth again, right? So you don't always need to worry about that one. But it's nice to have as sort of a little bit of a crutch, really, it is. And so one of the endgame sets that I've planned out to make for this is pretty easy to make. You can pretty much just make full Excello or Molten Tigrex armor, Excello Z or Excello Z, whatever you want to call it. And that gives really good skills for this, for hunting horn, especially since you're kind of playing the sideline sometime. The speeding is really nice to get back in there. But just a small modification, I actually found that the Rathalos Cap X with the Tigrex Z male and the arms, waist, and legs Excello Z with simple hearing talisman really adds up nicely. You can get attack up large, high grade earplugs, speeding +1, stamina thief, and then a 5-socket skill, which could be Horn Maestro thrown in there. So it's just kind of nice. You get those extra little boosts in there and extra slots. Really makes it seem to work out pretty well for the most part. And of course, there's all sorts of variations you can go off of that. Really, like I said, there aren't a whole lot of skills that are extremely specific to hunting horn, but there are ones that can really benefit, especially if you're a solo user, like the attack up large and the stamina drain. You can really start tearing through monsters with both of those combined. And of course, the Horn Maestro is really nice for solo anyway, just because you don't want to be stepping aside when no one else is dealing damage. To play a song, so you can do more damage. Yes, it may equal in the end, but it's just kind of nice to rely on that, or to have that to be able to rely on. So really, that's the hunting horn in a nutshell. Use it in groups, absolutely, but I don't really think you need more than one. Like if you have like 2 longsword users, 2 greatsword users, 2 hammer users, yeah, that's really cool. But 2 hunting horns, I don't know. I mean, maybe. If they're the same hunting horn, you definitely don't need 2 of them. You really don't. Someone's got to change. If you have 2 different hunting horns that give completely different skills, yeah, if it's a difficult monster, that might be worth it. Maybe if you're trying to carry some people through or something, they're having a specifically difficult time. But I don't know. I really never want to see 2 hunting horns in a group because then stuff gets overlapped and it doesn't stack that well. So really just go out there and be the one that's a hunting horn user and tell those other bitches to change. But that's pretty much it. So next week I'll have another weapon. This is a nice short podcast. Recently I've been uploading, or I will be uploading some Bloodborne videos. Also looking to get back into Destiny, so maybe we'll see some from there. Maybe. Kind of doubt it though. It is what it is. New DLC comes out in less than a month, like 3 weeks, something like that. Other than that, keep right here. Let me know if you guys want to see anything specific, and hopefully I'll get my 3DS back soon. And as soon as I get my 3DS back with the capture card, it is going to be video mayhem up on my channel. It is going to be insane. I got some good ideas, some funny, some factual, some great, some helpful, some death compilations probably. It's going to be awesome, so keep an eye out for it. Thanks again for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and take it easy.